Hello everyone. I'm gonna pull you guys up here so I can see comments, but let me know when you jump on. We are going to be working on the second part of our brushstroke tumbler. The first part, all we did was really learn where we can get the elements to design them and also how I design mine. So that is what we did in the first part. The second part, it's going to be super quick. Pretty much just printing the design, the brushstroke design, and applying it and then getting a layer of epoxy on there. And I look a little rough today. I've been not feeling too well, so I'm kind of a little comfy. And I've noticed my hair's been getting in my epoxy, so I am trying everything I can to keep it out of the epoxy because, well, nobody wants that. So I will wait just one more minute and I'll grab the glitters we're working with. Let me know when you jump on. You can hear me. Everything's okay. So we're going to be working with a 20-ounce tumbler. I'm 20-ounce skinny. This is non-tapered. I prefer the non-tapered tumblers just in case I do want to do a full wrap. It should make it a little bit easier for this part. But I've also done the brushstroke on the coffee mugs with handles, and you can really do it on just about anything. It's just kind of the way that you apply it, how it kind of goes on there. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to print off the design that we pulled up. So I am actually going to flip you guys around to show you my computer so I can show you what settings I print from when I am printing from Cricut. And then we'll just kind of go from there. So let me flip you around real quick if I can figure that out. Oh, look, you can still kind of see me there. If Cricut wants to open, it's a little slow. Oh no, it says error starting design space. Why? I was just in design space. I should not have exited out. And if anybody can tell me, hey Jordan, if anybody can tell me what this is from, you might be my best friend because, well, I'm obsessed with this show. All of the shows in the Stargate series. All right, let's try this again. All right, there we go, perfect. So sorry if this is a little shaky. I have my phone holder over where we're gonna be putting epoxy on tumblers, so I'm kind of going back and forth, but just bear with me through this part. It should be super quick. And again, if you want to know how I designed my brushstroke pattern right here, you can go back to the events tab and look for the first part of the brushstroke tumbler, and I kind of walk you through all of that there. And of course this did come in super big, so we're going to change this. And I imported this the wrong way. I actually want my brush strokes to be going this way. So I'm just gonna switch it around. And I'm gonna be completely honest, I haven't even measured my tumbler yet. So let's see if I can set you down for a second to do that. Actually, I'm going to flip you back around so while I'm measuring, and then we'll flip back around. All right, so like I said, we're using 20-ounce skinny tumbler, non-tapered. I'm just gonna measure around the middle. I'll be honest, I'm not like, I should probably be one of those people that measures 3 times, so I only have to cut once. But we're gonna go with 9 1/4. So we're going with 9 1/4 across. So that's what I'm gonna do my width as. So I'm gonna flip you back around now that I know what I need to do, and we'll print this off. So I know we want it to be 9 1/4 inches long. I'm not really too concerned with how tall it is, just because when we get the first layer of epoxy on there, then we're gonna go ahead and spray paint over the lines. So if it's taller than I really want it to be, that's fine. That looks like it should be pretty good, and that should wrap. So now, oh, you know what? That's gonna be too big for my print and cut, isn't it? Well, okay. So there's always a fix for everything. I will tell you that because I'm just gonna cut this by hand, I'm not gonna use Cricut Design Space just because I forgot about the limitations of the print size. So I'm actually going to use the free version of Silhouette Studio. Whenever I print my clear water slides, I always print them from Silhouette just because they don't need to be cut by the Cricut and I can fit more on one page. So I just prefer to print from here anyway. Let's see. Hopefully I can remember what I saved it under. Of course, I'm not going to be able to remember. If you've ever watched a live with me, you guys know that I am not very organized when it comes to my files, and I should be. I should always learn my lessons. Actually, no. Let's see, what did I save that as? I feel a little silly. I feel so silly that I cannot remember what I saved this as. Sorry, guys. Let's see. This is all a part of crafting, I suppose. Let's see. Maybe it's a recent one. Ooh, that's a good idea. Sort by date. Okay. If I can't find it in here real quick, I'm going to sort by the date. Let's see. This PC. I would search by date, but I don't even know what folder I would have saved it under. That's the problem. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Maybe, I don't think that's gonna. Moon phase. Okay, so maybe it's under moon phase. There we go. There we go. Moon. There we go. All right, so we know what it's under now. Sorry, guys. That was a complete brain fart. Okay, so now we know that it is under moon phase brushstroke. No, I don't want you to open there. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm just gonna search for moon. Okay, well, I just found it in here. Do you guys ever have these types of days? Like, so, I don't want the picture, I just want the file. See, I would go to downloads and find it, but I actually created this on my computer. So, okay, you know what we're just gonna do? We are going to just resave this so we can remember what it is. We're just gonna save it on the desktop. Okay, okay, I think that we have it now. And then the rest of this should go super easy. Okay, so again, I am doing this in silhouette just because I'm not going to cut it with the Cricut and I don't want the size restrictions. My tumbler is about 9 1/4 across, except for I did that wrong too. I want my brush strokes to be going up and down like that. And we want okay, I think we are ready. So I am actually going to be printing this on printable vinyl. Some people use white water slide, other people do individual brush strokes. I'm just going to try it this way this time to see if it's any easier, and we'll see. So when I do print, I always go into my preferences to make sure that I'm printing with what I want. Because printable vinyl is a little bit thicker than normal paper, I always change my paper type to Premium Choice Matte 120 grams. It just seems to print better. It prints slower on the thicker paper, so it doesn't get jammed, and it also just prints at higher quality on that. Gonna apply, and then I suppose we should probably put our paper in the printer. I always double check to make sure. Here, I'm gonna flip you around now that you guys have seen that, so I can set you down, just because I have set up all over the place for you guys tonight. So I always check to make sure I'm putting it in the right way. Peel off just a little bit of the corner and feel which part is sticky. I do use an HP laser printer. However, I have found that this current printable vinyl that I have, I do not like. It seems to smear the color off a lot. This is what I'm currently using, and it just doesn't work right. It doesn't work good, so I will not buy it again. But I can use it for now and it works. It's just not my preferred printable vinyl. I guess I really haven't found one since I've gotten a laser printer. So I guess it's just kind of one of those things you learn. Oh my goodness, you guys. I am having one heck of a technology night. It didn't print anything. I didn't print on nothing. Oh, and now it's telling me it has a jam, but it doesn't. I just got done telling you that it doesn't jam. Oh man, okay. Now, there shouldn't be a paper jam because this was the only piece of paper that I had in there, and it's obviously not jammed in there. We'll let that give a second to kick back on. I'm telling you guys, I really don't usually have this much technology problems, and it's just one of those days. I work at a college full time, and it's close to the end of the semester, so it is extremely stressful during these end weeks. Oh, now it's printing something, even though I didn't press print again. So we'll see if it actually prints what it's supposed to. And I'm telling you, when I have nights like this, and I just keep constantly having issues and issues and issues, I usually stop for the night. I figure it's better because then when I come to it the next day, I'm not having those issues and I'm not as frustrated. But it does look like it printed this time. So you can see that. Now I did, when I created this, again, if you didn't see that first video, I put brush strokes where I plan on putting glitter, just so it gives me a guide when I'm putting it on there. And again, I'm just going to cut this by hand because, well, it doesn't really matter what the ends look like, because we're going to spray paint over that after the first layer of epoxy. And I guess I should double check to make sure this wraps around like it should. And of course it doesn't. You guys, what am I doing? What am I doing? That's okay. I have an idea for after we apply this. I have an idea. Thanks, Alex. And I might have to redo this because I haven't done one this big. I do all of my decals in my lap. I know that seems silly, but it seems to help me. So but I will show you when I get it ready. I will take it over to the turner to put the glitter and epoxy on, and you guys can see what that part looks like. So now with the bigger layers of vinyl like this, I start at an edge and I just kind of work my way down to make sure there's no bubbles. If you do get bubbles, you can usually lift up the layer or the last piece that you laid down to fix that. So I do go kind of slow, just in case I do need to pull back up a little bit. I'm not having to pull back up a whole bunch, because that is when it gets tricky. So I really just pull as tight as I can while I'm wrapping this. Oh, of course at the end is where I messed it up. So you can see right there, I don't know if you can see, I have a little bit of a crackle, or a wrinkle. So I'm just going to pull these edges back up a little bit. And push it back down. except for see guys, this is what I'm talking about with this printable vinyl. I might have to reprint this because I don't know if you can see how that coloring just came off. Coloring just came right off. So as unfortunate as this is, I'm going to reprint it and redo it because I will not be happy with that. And yes, Alex, it is printable vinyl. This brand I don't like, but I'm trying to use it. See, you guys, it just came off all on my hands. Which you'd think with a laser printer, you wouldn't need to do that or have to worry about that, but apparently okay, so we're going to print this one more time. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize it again just because now I know that for whatever reason, how I measured was not big enough. And I see why it wasn't big enough now. So I'll show you why it wasn't big enough and why you need to pay attention. So, oh, I don't want my light on. So as you can see, when this uploaded, it uploaded as a big square. So it was counting that space in there when I measured. So pretty much what you can do, and I cannot do this one-handed, is you can, of course, crop your picture down just so it's towards the edges of the thing. So I'm just going to crop it real quick. I know what my problem was. We can fix that real quick, reprint, and hopefully this time we'll be able to make it okay. Okay, got my vinyl in to print. I've got that almost resized. My boyfriend is cooking dinner and it smells amazing. Now I'm hungry. So, the glitters that I'm going to be using, just so I can show you that while that's printing, this is the gold from last month's box, or November's box, I guess you could say. And I hope I'm saying this right. I try to look them up before I get on here. Aristeas. And this is just a super beautiful, I don't know if I'll be able to tilt that for you, super beautiful gold. And this is, of course, CDTC glitter. All the glitter we're using tonight is CDTC. I'm also going to be using Notus. It's a really, really pretty blue. I love this blue. And I think it's a little underrated. And you'll be able to see them a little bit better when I'm putting them on the cup. And then we have this purple. I'm sure that this is pronounced different ways in many different places. Dion. I tried to look this one up and it sounded like it was pronouncing it with a V. So, you know, again, CDTC glitter. Okay, now let's see. All right. And then when you have a big decal like this to apply, or if you're doing like a full wrap of vinyl, sometimes it's just easiest to just pull this little corner down And when you're working your way around that tumbler, just pulling back that backing, it seems to kind of help see, so how that backing is still on there. And then when I'm working my way around the tumbler, I just kind of push my fingers along that line, and that backing comes up when I push, but it doesn't come up too much that everything else is sticking where you don't want it to. So that's basically all I'm doing. And I did print this. I am going to have to cut it down on the top and the bottom, but that's perfectly fine. Because the top and the bottom, like I said, they are going to be spray painted over. I haven't decided exactly what color I'm going to spray paint over it. I might keep it just a neutral color since the purple is so pretty on this that I want to keep that. Almost done. And that actually worked out perfectly. You can measure this a little bit better to where you can get your seams to line up. This white piece I could have cut it off before I started applying, but if you've been watching, you know tonight is just not my night. So I did not mind if the white went over this gold piece right here, because that was just my guide for the gold glitter that I'm going to use. So if it's going to go on top of the white, I'm not too concerned about it. So now this is a little bit bigger than most brush strokes usually do, but I just really like this one, so I wanted it to be big. And again, you can see I could have taken a little bit more time to measure and cut down here, but I didn't. So, and like I said, I'm not too concerned about the top and the bottom being perfect because we are going to spray paint, so I'm just going to kind of hastily, hopefully I use that word, hastily cut around the rim. Because none of this is going to show. And if you wanted your brush strokes to be smaller, you could have added 2 of those patterns together to make it, you know, where you'd have 2 moon brush strokes on there, or however you like it. Like I said, I just really like this one big. I've only done a few of these, so I kind of still like to experiment with them. And my ways may not work for you. Some people are super organized, non-messy crafters. That is just not me. I always have so much going on that I am all over the place. And honestly, one thing that might have been a little bit easier than that, if I knew where it was, again, all over the place. If I had my X-Acto knife handy, I could just cut that down. But I'm just going to push these down on the corners because the epoxy will cover it, so will the spray paint. And then I'm going to set this down, and I'm going to move you guys over to the turner, and we'll put the glitter and the epoxy on. And then we'll be done with this for the night. We'll have a third part where we do the spray painting and cleanup of that. Hopefully that night is just a little bit better for me. But again, if you have any questions, even after I'm not live, just comment and I will always get with you. I have no problems if you guys private message me if you have questions on something I've done. Just know that if you're not my friend on Facebook, I might not see it unless you comment on the post saying that you're sending me a question. So let me set this down and then I'll move you guys over. All right. Now let's see. And I'm going to move my light over here so you guys can see a little bit better. Let me know if that light's too bright on it. Just grab my computer so I can see your comments if you have any questions. And pretty much this part is just going to be, again, if you didn't watch the video where I created this, I always say that it is best to pick out 2 to 3 patterned brush strokes and 2 to 3 glitters. If you put a whole bunch on there, it's going to be too much. So I usually say 2 to 3 of each. And then I also use just usually, oh my goodness. When I put that on there, I didn't do very good. I didn't think I turned that on either. You guys, crazy technology. Because this is going to be covered in glitter, I'm just getting the air out that way. Okay. But I do use just the blank brush stroke spots to kind of guide where I'm putting that glitter. So we're going to start with the gold so we can cover up that spot right there. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect just because we're going to be covering it, and brush strokes themselves are just not perfect. It's kind of the beauty of them. Now, it might need 2 coats of glitter. I'm not sure. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping I can get enough on here. And I am using the devil's glue. And I'm getting a good coat on here, so hopefully I don't have to do too many coats. Let me get this. So when I had this Turner holder wood thing that you guys see behind me sometimes built, my significant other, when he built this, also built me these little, I don't know if you can see, but it just kind of, it helps me catch my glitter. So let me get, I probably should have been a little bit more prepared before I put glue on. But it just kind of, it helps hold this, so like before, if I had my paper laying flat, it would fall. This kind of helps catch it, and then it also kind of falls down there. I don't know, it's just helpful. And I really, you guys, like I said, I'm a messy crafter, so I need to vacuum up all my loose glitter on here. All right. And again, this, I think I missed a few spots. This is the gold that came in the latest box that you guys received if you bought one. I've been waiting to use this. I want to use it very bad because it's so pretty. So I definitely think I'll need two, just because I didn't get that one very good, but that's okay. That's okay. I always keep just a clean paintbrush around, one that I never use for paint or anything else, so when I am doing something like this, I can brush off any loose glitter that I don't want on there, on those spots. Let me grab. I also, I don't use sealer. How did you apply the glitter? Lisa, I just used the devil's glue, to be honest. I don't like using it, but for things like this, I find it to be the easiest for me. So really quick, I don't use clear sealer. I use Aquanet. I like this because not only can I use it right here in the craft room and I don't have to take my tumbler all over the house, it works really, really well. So I'm just going to seal that really quick before I put any more glitter on there. We'll work on the blue brush stroke while that dries. The blue I'm going to be using, it is called Notus. Another CDTC glitter. Now this one, it shouldn't matter if I don't get as good coverage as I did with the gold, because I messed up with measuring and part of that gold was on the white spot. It's going to need two. But if you use a color close to the glitter you're going to be using, you honestly should only need one. So pretty. I love this blue. But yeah, keeping just a clean, soft brush around. Sorry, Lisa, let me read what she said. I only used that one. I've only used that one and it didn't seem to dry. Maybe I was too heavy with it. You know, it could be that you were heavy with it. I don't notice that it takes too long to dry for me. But I usually do let it sit just a little bit before I'll actually epoxy over it. Oh, you know what? I actually don't even need to worry about that. We'll just let that dry. Because again, we're going to cover the tumbler with spray paint from about there to there. So whatever you got going on down here at the bottom, like it's really rough, that's okay. I think I might only need one layer of the blue and the purple. Okay. And again, the nice thing about this is that your lines don't have to be perfect. Brush strokes are not perfect. What does Bob Ross call it? A happy accident? Too much glitter is a happy accident. Guess I should put the lids on my glitter because with the night I've been having, I would dump it all. And then, again, this blue, it is Dion from CDTC. All of these glitters you can find on the website. Sorry if you guys are seeing the top of my head when I go in there to look at some of it. All right. Get off any of that excess that we just don't want. Get the lid back on that glitter. Now the gold, it's already, that sealer's already worked on it, so I am going to do just that touch-up coat real quick. Again, if I wouldn't have messed up my measuring, it would have been all on that gold pattern, and I probably would have only needed the one. But things happen. You live and you learn, right? Yeah, see that? I love using that hairspray for sealer as opposed to actual sealer, because it would have taken a little bit longer for my actual sealer to dry. I would have had to go out to the garage to do it because, of course, it's like 15 degrees here today. It's super cold. My son did not want to wear his coat to school, and we had a big fight about that. Now, usually this cup, it doesn't have epoxy on it yet. It just has the decals and is ready for epoxy. Usually, if this cup was wet, I would not be doing this right here because I am messy and it does splatter when I'm cleaning it up and all of that. So, I've learned that the hard way. I've learned that the hard way. Okay, I don't know. Let's see. Man, that white there sure did mess with me. I will probably, if this one turns out okay, put this one up for sale at my craft show. I have one more before the holiday season is over on the 12th, so I'm trying to get a last couple minute cups done for that. Whoop. See? Don't be like me. That's okay. It did not mess anything up. Now, if it had epoxy on it, that would be another story. Okay. So since I have all my glitter on here, I'm going to give it one more good spray with this to make sure that glitter stays where I put it. Aquanet. Who would have known? Who would have known? So I'm going to need to let this dry for just a couple minutes before I do anything with it. I saw a couple bare spots that I wanted to get real quick. And then that is pretty much the application steps. Of course, if you're not having the technical difficulties that I did, it'll go a little bit smoother. Man, this gold is giving me a hard time. Well, maybe it's not the glitter that's giving me a hard time, it's my off measurements and putting it on white. Hi, Rhonda. Rhonda, thank you so much for the box and the tumbler and all of the goodies. It was amazing. It was a great treat to open, and I just have not had a second to tell you thank you yet, so I'm glad you popped on. I really needed some more of those little spray bottles for my alcohol too, so that was perfect. It was awesome. I loved the cup. I used it at work today. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So because I just added a little bit more, I am going to spray just a little bit more hairspray. Make sure that gold is going to stay. You guys, what am I having problems with? I swear I love these turners, and I usually never have problems with cups falling off. Okay, so now let me clean up my station just for a minute. I am a crazy hot mess. Let's see, and I might actually move you guys one more time while I get ready to put some epoxy on these, and then we'll be done for the night. I just got to try to find a good spot for you. Let's see. I'm going to turn that off. Where are you going to be able to see what I'm doing? up close in my face. Okay. Hopefully that works out for you guys. So I actually need to get epoxy on these three. I have 2 others with these decals that I need to get epoxy on. I need to get fast set on another one over here. Man, that is still wet. I might not be able to put epoxy on this with you guys tonight, just because it might need to really dry. But I can always post a picture of when that's done. So I'm also all out of measuring cups. So I'm eyeballing it with these. I do okay with eyeballing. Some people don't. Knock on wood. I've never had a cup not cure or be tacky after it wasn't supposed to be. So maybe I just have a good eye. Oh gosh, Alex, my craft space is so messy right now. I've had a couple craft shows, so I just have stuff shoved and started and need to be finished everywhere. Yes, I love my little Turner table. And no worries, Rhonda, that is fine. I do not mind one bit if it was a little bit late. So again, I'm going to eyeball it. I know. Some people are probably cringing right now. I'm also, I'm doing fast set right now, or not fast set. I'm using Stone Coat Quick Coat. I will use this, or I'll use CCDIY Fast Set when I have it. I just couldn't wait for shipping, and I can get this on Amazon, so I got it on Amazon instead. I like both of them. I don't really prefer one over the other. The Quick Coat from Stone Coat is a little bit cheaper if you're on a budget. So, you know, personally I think they cure just about the same. If not, even Stone Coat has even a brighter shine on it afterwards, even though you're putting epoxy on top of that. The shine from Stone Coat sometimes beats what I get with Fast Set. And I know a lot of people are probably saying you shouldn't do that much Fast Set at one time, but I do. I also stir, obviously, like a mad woman, like I'm whipping a cake in the kitchen. But I use a torch, so it's all good, because the torch gets rid of it all. I do not stir Fast Set or Quick Coat for very long. I can usually just tell by the consistency that it's ready. Again, this has a short working time, so you want to work fast. I'm just going to start down here with this guy. As some of you have seen from some of my posts, I have that cup that everybody orders. And I feel like I'm always making that one cup, and it is this skull one. I have 5 with decals that need epoxy. I only have 3 on here right now. And then I have I have quite a few more to make before Christmas, so. Especially with this printable vinyl, I usually always do Fast Set or Quick Coat over the first, or over the decal just because it is a little bit thicker. Sometimes it takes a little bit more coverage, and this just helps me get done faster. And yes, I do not pour my epoxy. I dip my fingers in and put it on. And again, I'm probably making some of you cringe really bad, but it works for me. And that's the thing about crafting, is you will find what works for you and just go with it. Now, I do not have this one set in here very good. Yeah, we're not going to put epoxy on that. I'm going to have to fix that little spot I just messed up. I will put epoxy on that a little bit later. But I do have one more cup. Let me see if I can show you right here that I'm working on. This one's an odd one. I haven't done anything like this before. It's a custom order for best friend cup, so I'm trying this one first to see if I like the way that I'm going with this and what she wants. Pretty much she requested a black glitter base, so I used NYX. And then she also requested a rainbow coming up from the bottom with a best friend quote and possibly their names. So this is my first attempt. I didn't want to do the other one exactly the same until I knew that I was going to like the way this looked. And actually, I forgot. Let me take this glove off really quick. I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle in here, and then we are going to be done. I'm almost done.
Okay. Dinner's ready.
Thanks, baby. My dinner is ready. So good thing we're almost done. That din. So I want a little bit of sparkle on top of this one, and I was going to put it in with the top coat of epoxy, but I forgot, and I think I might have added a little too much in here, so we'll see how this plays out. Of course, my hand, I should not have taken that other glove off. There we go. That'll be good enough for what I need to do really quick. So again, I just wanted a little bit of hollow sparkle on all of this. And I may need to touch up the rainbow a little bit, but that's okay. Throw that away. And of course, the most important part, and one thing I think I forgot to do before I started, is to torch. And of course my butane is out. Or my torch is out of butane, so I'm trying to fill that real quick. So I just constantly keep it moving across that. And I usually never have to worry about bubbles, even though, like I said, I mix like a mad woman. So I suppose that means we're done. I will probably get a coat of epoxy on the tumbler, the brushstroke tumbler that we worked on, sometime later tonight. I just need to let that dry and fix up that spot real quick. And then I will post a video of picture of how it's looking so far. And then we will schedule the third and hopefully final live of the brushstroke, where we will do the spray painting and decal and all of that. So if you have any questions, let me know. But my dinner is ready and I'm hungry, so I am going to go eat. So we'll see you guys later.